welcome back to the food truck where we say God is doing something special for us on the Me and You. I'm so glad that you came back. And I want on this episode, I want to tackle a story that has been hitting the airwaves for the past 3 weeks. The story of Reverend Mike Templeton. Now, many of you might not know who that is. You might know him from hashtag Elephant Preacher. Yeah, that's right. Mike Templeton is the one that hashtag is talking about. And today, as you can see, I have 2 chairs with me. We're going to have Reverend Mike Templeton to come on the show and explain what occurred. And it is called the elephant syndrome. Yes, that is true. The elephant syndrome is when a person has a situation, usually it is a tragic, that never been resolved. And instead of trying to resolve that situation, they don't talk to no one, and anyone who is close to them don't talk to them about that situation due to the fact they are afraid and fearful about what may occur if that conversation does happen. And today we're going to have Pastor Mike Templeton to come on this show and to have that conversation. And you might not know it by the elephant syndrome. You might know it by the elephant in the room. We're going to have a conversation. So right after this commercial break, we're going to have a conversation with Reverend Mike Templeton here on this show, The Food Truck. We got to get out of here and pay some bill. See you in a few. We're back, and we're glad that you came back. We are talking about the issue of the elephant in the room. Now, this is not no joke, and many of us today are suffering from the elephant in the room, those conversations that we don't want to have with another individual due to the fact some reason we feel that it might bring up some things that we don't want to talk about, or fearful of what may occur. It might damage an individual. But these hard conversations should be had and must be had so that the soul can heal. So today we're going to talk to a person, a pastor, a preacher, a friend of mine who suffers from the elephant in the room. And so I want no one judging Pastor Mike Templeton. I want us to greet him and love on him and pray for him as he witness and testify about this situation and what occurred on that night. So let's give a round of applause to my guest, Reverend Pastor Mike Templeton. How you doing, Reverend? Good, good. I'm glad that you came in today. So could you explain to the audience, what occurred on that night that you were rushed to the hospital?
Well, you can call me Mike.
You can call me Mike. Oh, okay. So you don't want to be called pastor. So would
That'd be
Mike
fine.
be
That'd
okay
fine.
with? Okay. Okay. So Mike, could you explain to us what occurred?
Was that I tried to take my life. Some things were happening in my past, things I didn't like.
Yeah.
Just
I understand.
didn't want to. I don't know. It just
Mm-hmm.
was overwhelming. I just,
So what we want to really focus on, you've been a pastor for so long at 66 Baptist Church, and what happened that made you just give up preaching?
well, with the,
Could you
yes,
talk
yes.
to us about
with
that?
the loss of my, with,
Take your time.
with the loss
Take your
of
time.
my wife and my son, Mike Jr. It was rough, and I just got angry. I got angry and didn't want to talk to anyone about this situation, what I was suffering from,
Okay.
and it just got worse, day after day.
Okay. Okay. Mike, so you really hadn't shared with us what was the issue.
That's what I'm trying to
Why
tell you.
was you mad? Was you disappointed? Was you sad because of that tragic death? I get it that we all hurt when we lose someone. What was the main reason that you can say, that you can really focus on, that really, who were you upset with, that you didn't want to have this conversation?
Well, I was
enlighten
well,
us.
to answer your question, the person I really had a problem with.
You could share anything.
It's one that
Anything
many
you-
people don't want to talk about. Many of y'all
Okay.
love this person, care for this person.
Okay. Well, we're going to stop right there because we got to pay some bills. We'll be right back with our guest, Pastor Mike Templeton. I'm sorry, excuse me, Miss Mike Templeton, as we continue this conversation with the elephant in the room. I will see you right back after these commercial breaks. Welcome back to the food truck. When we were on commercial, Pastor Mike Templeton informed us he did not want to go on with the interview. The reason that what he shared with me was that he felt uncomfortable, especially to express who he blames for everything, who he's mad with. But he did tell me this, that we can call him up tomorrow and do a video call. And so we're going to call up Pastor Mike Templeton. I still call him a pastor because when God calls you to a certain task, you will never lose that title, what God is calling you for. And so we're going to reach out to Pastor Mike Templeton tomorrow on the Food Truck Show, where we say God is doing something special for us on the Me and You. And please, in your time, in your praying time, and even in your prayer closet, lift up the name of Pastor Mike Templeton, where we will still try to reach out and see if we can find help for him to hear his side of the story so that we can help serve him by loving on him, praying for him, and lend a helping hand where we can. So I'm your host, Reverend Gordon, here on the Food Truck, and I will see you tomorrow.